I think that I remember once I grew up in Thunder Bay, and we went to the lake, and I went swimming, and for the first time I decided I'd swim out to the raft. And I swam out to the raft, and I had a great time, and I came back in, and my mom had notified the lifeguards that I was missing, and she thought I drowned. That's kind of my first memory of swimming. Oh, it was definitely swimming. I mean, I spent all my summers, going to the pool pretty much every day. From when I was a young kid, my grandmother lived a reasonably close distance to a really nice outdoor pool, and I used to, I'd go there in the morning, and I'd walk over to the pool and take lessons in the morning, go to her place at lunch, and then walk back in the afternoon for the public swim and just stay there all afternoon. I pretty much did that for the entire summer. The very last race I ever swam at university is probably one of the most memorable ones, because I got up and I didn't win, but I came second in the 1650 at our conference championships. And remember, I was sixth at the halfway point, and I worked my way up to finish second and set a school record. And the funny thing, I think that's helped me in coaching is I realized in my last race that I finally believed that I knew how to swim my best race, and I did it there. And that's why I felt pretty good about that. I don't know, it's probably another swimming story though. I did train with a few people that were some really great athletes, and being at the national championships in 1977, I believe it was, in Montreal, when both Graham Smith and Bill Sawchuk broke the world record there. My teammates, they broke a world record in the 200 IM. That was pretty cool, being there and being involved in that, and my training partners being the best swimmers in the world. That was pretty cool. Probably the best thing I like about Edmonton is just down the street from me, there's my local neighborhood sausage maker. I'll plug Todd at Old Country Meats and Deli. He makes fantastic sausages. I like those on the barbecue, sure. I love music. I'm a musician. I think that was probably the hardest decision I made growing up, was whether or not I was going to be a music major at university or go into, be a swimmer. And I was offered a scholarship in swimming, but I really wanted swimming. Music was my passion, and it's just one of those things that they're competing against each other, right? Like if you go to university and you want to take music, all your extracurricular stuff is the same time as it is for swimming. So, you got to make a choice. But I still do a lot of music these days. I play with my kids. We got a little band called the Real Humdingers, and we have a pretty good time with that. And I play in a bluegrass band, I played in a jazz band, I played in a country band, I played drums, I played trumpet, I played guitar and harmonica and stuff. So, I mean, when I'm not swimming, I'm usually sitting and I'm at home, I'll be sitting playing my guitar and having a good time. Well, right now, I would have to say summer with waves. I guess that's my new sport passion, is probably stand-up paddle surfing. And I've done some surfing over the last 10 or 15 years, but in the last couple of years I got myself an inflatable stand-up paddleboard that I can travel with. And last year I got to surf in Hawaii at Waikiki. I got suckered into going out into these giant waves with my buddy, and had a great time, and now I'm just hooked on surfing. I really love surfing, and so I'd like to live Southern California, maybe in the Hawaiian Islands. That'd be really great. Not so much. I don't think I'm really, no, I mean, I'm not a particular fan of getting close to the edge of a cliff, but I think it's more practical safety rather than fear, but I don't really have too many phobias, I don't think, no. Okay, well, I mean, maybe I'm older than CDs, so one thing I remember taking a hit on was I had some Barry Manilow records. I took a hit in university with having those in my dorm room. Oh, they always say I would say that they think I'm pretty calm and relaxed. I don't think they can really read what's going on inside my mind sometimes when I'm at competitions and stuff, but pretty calm, pretty relaxed, like to have fun, have a good time. Oh, probably the same way. I think it's funny, we were sitting at a swim meet this weekend, and we got a new app. I got a new app on my phone. And you can get a heart rate monitor, and then there's another one that says stress. You measure stress. You just put your finger over the lens, and somehow it measures your stress levels. And it's pretty funny, because inside I was just like, I thought I was just churning, and we did the stress test, and one of my swimmers, her stress level was like 100. Someone else was 47. Mine was 2%. And then they're saying, "Oh, that's you, Bill. You never look stressed." But I don't know. I don't necessarily always feel that way, but I think I'm pretty calm, pretty easygoing. Yeah, I've had a couple really good mentors. I was pretty lucky. My first coach, well, actually, my first swimming experience was in Thunder Bay at an outdoor pool, the Widnall pool, and I joined the Widnall Water Rats, and there was a lifeguard there that encouraged me to get into swimming, and her name was Bonnie. And then, coincidentally enough, when I joined the first winter club at the YMCA in Thunder Bay, my mom encouraged me because she knew I enjoyed swimming, to join the swim club. She saw there was a tryout, and there was a coach, and her name was Bonnie Benson, and she was a professor at Lakehead University, and she'd been a medalist at the Pan Am Games in 1967. So she was a good swimmer, and she was a really great person. And I think I probably shaped my coaching after her. I think she was the same style, like easygoing, fairly carefree, skill oriented, that sort of thing. So I learned a lot from her, and I got the passion from the sport from her. And then, I think the guy I learned the most from was our head coach in Thunder Bay after that for the Thunderbolts, is a guy by the name of Don Talbot, who was the Australian Olympic coach, I think for about 6 Olympics before he moved to Thunder Bay, of all places. And he took a club from a few kids that kind of were at sort of a national level to having, I think it was 7 swimmers we had on the 1976 Olympic team in 4 years from Thunder Bay. And I learned so much from that guy. He was a world-class coach. He had some interesting styles. Coaching has changed quite a bit since he was in Thunder Bay, but I learned a lot about high performance sport from him. I don't know, there really are a lot of different type things. There's team things. I remember when I was in Calgary before I came to U of A, we won national championships a few times as a team. We won the age group nationals a couple times. Those were all really great. Having a whole team of athletes prepared. Over the years I've had a few swimmers. One of my first athletes I coached in Thunder Bay was a kid named Andrew Folds, and when he was 12 years old, I think it was 1985, he set a Canadian record. That was my first Canadian record. And I remember Emma Spooner was my first national champion in Calgary, and so I've had quite a few different experiences, and this past weekend we won the University Challenge Cup in Toronto and beat the defending champions Calgary. So there's just a broad range of successes that I feel great about them, whether individual or team. I guess the few key things that I really try to work on, I really try to make sure my athletes are as prepared as possible for their competition, and so we spend an awful lot of time on technical development, making sure that they have the skills to do their races properly. And I spend a lot of time on tactical development, and I think we do a lot of pace work, and I think that's one thing that I do a pretty good job at. And I think making sure that when the kids get to the meet, they really know how to swim their own races, kind of takes the stress off because they really feel prepared, and I think they swim their best because they know that they're prepared tactically and technically. Well, I'm always talking to different coaches. I've had the opportunity to do a bit of traveling. I went to World Student Games, and we were always going to the national championships, and usually in the spring we head down to California and see some of the best national and international swimmers in the United States. And that's the best way to learn, is just to watch the best swimmers in the world and see what's going on. And so try to keep current, try and find out what's going on. I've got a great assistant coach this last 2 years, Richard Milnes, who is also a big student of the sport. He spends a lot of his time on the internet going and researching different swimming training techniques and stuff, and we share ideas. So, just always looking for new things, cutting edge things, and but making sure we do the basics too. Well, it's when I got hired at the U of A, it's just over 5 years ago. They asked me how long it would take sort of to really get the team cooking and develop, and I said, well, probably about 5 years. And now it's just over 5 years, and I think we're starting to see some team successes and some individual successes. We've had a couple kids make it to the World Student Games a couple years ago, and so now our real goals and aspirations are getting some kids onto the Olympic teams and onto the national teams. And I think professionally it's been really awesome being here. I think that was the one thing that actually drew me to U of A, was the fact that the athletic department is a real professional organization to work with, right down to the coaching evaluation process, to the support I get from the athletic department. And and it's very focused. I just coach a varsity team, whereas in the past I've always had some kind of tie into a club experience, which was good. I learned a lot, and I got to work with some great athletes. But you're always sort of spreading out your what you need to do. And now it's I can focus on the varsity team alone. And like I say, I've got a really great support from the athletic department and a great program that every year there's someone vying for a national championship, winning a national championship, and it's really been a positive experience that way.